folks. John's looking over in La La Land somewhere. But we wanted to come on today. We wanted to come on today and do a video. We were going to do another video, which we still plan on doing in the future. But something went down on Friday on a social media site for like neighborhoods. And it got so blown out of proportion that, you know us, we got to come on and keep it real and do a video about it. So John asked me on Friday.
Oh, wait a minute before you go further. Just to everybody know, the title of this
No, we're not
video.
going to tell the title.
Huh?
We're not going to tell the title.
No, I got to say, because I got a funny part going with it.
All
The
right.
title of this video is going to be Stick It in Your Can. This is 70s porn. Play the music. Bzz, 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 bzz. Oh, no, it's not 70s porn? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, go ahead, Ronnie. Continue on.
I'm confusion. All right. So anyway, John says to me on Friday, he says, hey, when you get a chance, take a look at the cameras to see if you can pull up someone sticking a whole bunch of trash in one of our trash cans. So I said, well, about what time do you think it was? He says maybe between 8 and maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So the nice thing about our cameras is that it only films if there's motion. So it wasn't like I had to look through a whole bunch of footage. All I had to do was just go and run it, and every time there was motion, you know, at that particular camera, it will come on. So needless to say, I run through the clips, and I find the person that's doing it. So after I took a couple of pictures of it because I wanted it on my phone, and I, you know, blew it up, and I didn't know who this person was. So I sent the pic to John. I said, do you know who this is? And he said he didn't know. So I said, okay, well, let me, because I was kind of mad about it because I had heard that some other neighbors was having the same issue about people putting trash in their can, and they didn't know who it was either. So I said, okay, I'm just going to put it out there. So I said, well, you know what? I said, I'm going to put it on the Nextdoor app, because that particular app, I really wasn't going to say the name, but I'm going to say it anyway. But it has neighborhoods. So you can, you know, once you go on there, you're put into your neighborhood. So I thought, well, so maybe somebody in the neighborhood, you know, knows who this is. So what I did was I put on there, I said, and I'm gonna read some of these comments, because this, when I tell you this went out of control, viral, crazy, and so much to the point that it's the number one number one post that's on this app right now. And I'm like, are you people serious? But anyway, what I did was I put a picture of her, and I said, caught this person putting trash in our can. Does anyone recognize her? I think I may have an idea. I'm not sure. I didn't really know who she was. But I said, neighbors, be watchful. This is not the first time this occurred. That's all I said. I didn't say, hey, you guys take a look at this video or this picture. What do you think about this person putting trash in other people's cans? I never said anything like that. Personally, I didn't ask for anybody's opinion. But boy, did I get a lot of opinions. And when I say the opinions ran from stupid to must not have a brain to, I don't know, you the walking dead. Okay? So the first comment that I got was from this person, Charla. Yeah, I'm going to say your name. You mad about people putting people on blast? Yeah, I'm going to put your ass on blast. So she lives in Haddington. I don't even know where Haddington is. That's not even our neighborhood. But okay, you know, you can go on and make comments about stuff. But again, my reason for putting it on there wasn't to have people do anything to her. I just said, if you know her, thinking that maybe you know her, I don't. If you see her, maybe you can ask why she's doing it, or say, hey, you know, you might not want to put your trash in other people's trash. You know, everybody got trash cans for a reason. Just find out. I wasn't saying putting everybody on a witch hunt for this chick.
Right. Or buy her a trash can.
Oh, yeah. Take up some money and buy her a trash can. I don't know. People seem to think she don't have a trash can. I don't know why. So anyway, so this one woman says, we, just so you know, me and her, we went toe for toe, round for round. Because again, I don't play that. You're not gonna come on and bash me about something that you don't know what you're talking about. So she says, is it a crime to put trash in a trash can? This is crazy. Maybe she doesn't have one and doesn't want the wind to blow trash everywhere. People put trash in cans out. People put trash in my cans out front all the time. I don't see why anyone should beware of this. So then I came back and said, first of all, and my friend reminded me because she's on the app too, and she said, first of all, it's fighting words. I said, yeah, I guess so. But that's not where I was going with it. As far as I was concerned, she was coming out of pocket and being a little nasty in her spot, in her comment. And I thought, well, I'm just going to have to straighten you out. So I said, first of all, I never said it was a crime. And I'm sure that they have trash cans. Everybody around here has trash cans. You have to. You can't put just bags out because they just won't take it. Or if you put bags out, the raccoons will come and tear them up. So everybody has trash cans. So I said, I'm not responsible for how other people dispose of their trash. Most importantly, I have a disabled mother, and because of her condition, we need space in our cans. If someone else puts their trash in our cans, that means we can't use them. Just so you know, this wasn't some rant, and just because you don't mind others using your trash cans, maybe others do, and have a good reason for it, and may want to know this. And I said, thank you. So then she felt, hold on, there's some more. I don't know why this not coming up. Hold on a second. So go ahead, John. You say something while I'm still looking for it, because I'm getting I'm getting some kind of it might be blowing up so much that I can't read the comments.
It's going
anymore.
viral.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh, now we got 9. Okay. So yeah, I had to go out and go back in. Technical problems, folks. So then somebody else said, Ronnie, you should be aware that your original post and response both came across as rants. If that is not what's intended, rather than trying to put someone on blast, if this is such an issue with you, why don't you move your cans? You can lock them if you can't move them. Since we have no control over the actions of others and there is no crime or misdemeanor being committed here, isn't it best to take meaningful actions on your part that fixes the problem and takes the least amount of energy? First of all, that does take the least amount of energy. I posted it. I don't know what more you want. And as far as cans and locking, I don't know what the heck he was talking about. Maybe you guys know. Let us know in the comments. Have you ever heard of a locking can? No. And why should I go out and buy, these otherworldly cans or whatever, just so I can stop somebody else? No, because that's what it sounds like.
Worldly cans.
I can stop somebody else from putting trash in my can. Just don't do it. So my response to him was, it's really not ranting. I simply was asking a question, but I'm finding it hard to believe from these comments that people think this kind of behavior is okay. But to answer your question, no, there's nowhere else to put the cans. Where else are we going to put them? They're outside where they're supposed to be along the house. Mind you, along our fence. No place else, okay? So it's on our property. So if you want to talk about trespassing, she is doing that because it's on our property. But anyway, so I said, but to answer your question, there's nowhere else to put the cans. And quite frankly, I shouldn't have to go through all this. Maybe you and others don't mind people putting garbage in your cans that causes maggots and critters that knock over the can, and then we have to constantly clean up the mess. I don't have time for that. If you don't want to be put on blast, stay on your own property. As I mentioned, they are our cans, and we need them for our trash, not the neighborhood's trash. Can you understand that? This isn't a neighborhood bin where everybody comes to throw their trash. She is walking up and down streets and putting stuff in other people's cans. Why? I don't know. That's why I put it out there. Maybe somebody knows her. Maybe, somebody else can talk to her. Maybe if somebody told me who she was, I'm not going to beat her up. If I find out who she is, I'm just going to say, hey, can you stop putting your trash in our cans? We had that problem with our neighbor next door before she moved. She put fish heads, shrimp bones, I don't know, shrimp scales, everything else, bones and everything else in the trash can. But you know what? She never put it in a bag. So because her not putting it in a bag made maggots in the cans that we had to clean up, and raccoons will come and turn them over. So now you've got fish scales and everything up and down the street just because the neighbor doesn't want to puts their trash in our bin, not the way we do. Everything goes inside another bag. We just don't put trash in a can. You're not supposed to do that anyway. But I'm saying that because this is what we had to deal with before. So I know what I'm talking about. But everybody else wants to get in here and make these half-ass comments or make it funny. It's not funny. They may be thinking, well, it's just trash. Yeah, it's her trash, not mine. So, I said, so then he came back. I guess he didn't like what I said, so he comes back. I'm not defending whoever's doing it. I'm saying that the two solutions are moving the cans, which I refuse to do. Where am I moving them to? And then what you said you can't do, or locking the cans. I don't know what he means by just locking the cans. I've never seen a mechanism on a can that locks. I've never seen that.
A dumpster.
Right, but there's no dumpster around here.
I've never seen trash cans.
Right? So we can't control others. You can control your situation, though. These kind of posts don't really solve anything. They come across as venting, even if that's not the intent. And if these type of posts did solve things, there wouldn't be a single stray piece of dog poop left improperly disposed of anywhere in the city. So then I said, funny you should mention dog poop. We have 2 dogs, and I'm quite sure she or anyone else would not want me to put the poop bags in their trash. As I said, I asked a question, and if no one wants to answer because they know who it is, that's okay. No disrespect, but I really wasn't asking for anybody's opinion, and my house isn't the only house she's using. So then another person comes back, this Charlotte person again, because she's all in the mix. You can relax with, my friend Penny was right. She said, you can relax with the first of all part. Your response is ridiculous. See, she came off nasty, and this is why I let her have it. The ridiculous. Your response is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that lady isn't filling up all your cans. Again, she just might not have one and is just being resourceful. She's reaching.
She's trespassing.
Because your cans are outside. Why didn't you just tell her to stop instead of posting this poor woman's picture all over the internet? I can see if she was a murder suspect, stealing packages, stealing cars, robbing people, etc. You try to embarrass someone for putting trash in a trash can. My God, what do you want your neighbors to do? Go beat her up for putting trash where trash belongs? And people wonder why others in their community don't look out for them. Posts like this. How about you call the cops and tell them what she's doing, and then hold your breath while you wait for them to get there? Now I'm just going to take a sip of water before I get on to my response to that.
And I think when you look at this, I think it's just more about it's not about just a rant on trash and whose can you're sticking it in. And don't get me wrong when I say this, there's a lot of people on social media do good things and stuff like that, but there are a percentage of you, and you know who you are, who are social media dopes. Don't even go by a keyboard if you're going to turn around and talk stupid shit, because you know darn right well, if I came up there with poop bags and whatever else and dropped them on your front lawn or even in your trash can. Actually, that was actually a scene from Larry David. Oh, yeah. If you ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David and his oh God, who was that guy? That was Jeff. What was Jeff? Jeff was his agent.
Lawyer or agent?
No, it was his agent. They were walking down the street, and Larry David had an apple in his hand, and he's chewing it. So he gets down to the court, he takes the apple, goes, fling, throws it into this guy's can. And they start to walk away. The guy's like, yo, buddy, what's happening? He says, you threw your stuff in my can. And Larry David's like, well, it's trash. He's like, but it's my can.
Exactly. So, I responded back to her because I'm just like, she's going on this rant about, calling this woman a criminal and I'm putting her out there, whatever. She put herself out there when she decided to come on a property that has cameras. So I said, so she said she didn't like the fact that I said first of all. So I came with, okay, second of all, if you need, don't mess with me. If you read the post, you would have seen I said I'm not sure who she is. I never said she committed a crime. Those are your leaps and bounds. And I see you really thought you were going somewhere with that. My comment stands. We need the trash cans for our disposal of trash, and we don't want someone taking up space with their trash. Again, I simply asked the question to make others aware in the neighborhood. But for some reason, this triggered you. And I can only assume that you find a kindred spirit with her. If you don't want to get caught on camera, don't do stupid shit. That's simple. So then, again, she comes back with, I'm like, she got a lot of time. I got a lot of time. You want to go all day with me with this? I will. You're going to stop at some point. Ronnie, I honestly don't think she cares about the camera. What she is getting, I don't think she cares about the camera. What is she getting caught doing? Question mark. Putting trash where trash is trash. No, she said putting trash where it goes. Trash is trash. It's only going to the same place on trash day, which is 4 days away. Again, I have to keep saying, this wasn't trash that was sitting out on the curb waiting for the men to come pick it up. This was on against our gate on our property. If it was trash day, I don't care. You think we wouldn't even be making this video if it was trash day, because we wouldn't even know she put it in there. So she goes on to say, maybe she should just throw it on your sidewalk. Get a life and worry about more important things going on in the world. Trust me, I do worry about more important things going on in the world. People like her that think that this is okay. This is what make, when you hear things about neighbors arguing and things coming to blows or whatever, it's because of people like her. So I said, again, me and her back and forth. I'm like, you want to go? We'll go. So I said, you know what? Why don't you show this post to someone who can help you understand it? Because clearly you don't understand property boundaries. I'll break it down for you like you're a 2-year-old. Because you keep coming back for more. And quite frankly, I don't have the time or inclination to keep going around and around with you. Nowhere in the post did I ask for opinions. I never said, what do you guys out there think of what she did with this trash? However, people like you feel that you need to get on your soapbox and preach. Well, guess what? I don't care what you think. I said what I said. Perhaps you would like me to come over and dub the adult diapers the reason we need the cans in the first place, since you're so open to it. I said, have a nice day, lady. I'm done with idiotic people like you who think that you know everything. Now, see, I would have never took it there, but she called me ridiculous. She called me, I don't know. She said some things about like it was funny and nobody should care about it. Again, if all I can, let's just go around this, get to the reasoning behind this, in case there are some people out there in YouTube land that think the same way, because I was really surprised by how many people thought this was okay. But if we got 4 cans and those cans are filled to the gill, to the top, and we got 1 can left, and it's 4 days from trash day, and we have to put all these other bags out there, and she comes and dumps all her trash and our 1 can, we're not going to have any place to put our trash until trash day. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's not that, oh, well, it's so bad that she used our trash can. She used up the only trash can that we had left to put stuff in. It's not your trash can. It really isn't. I don't even know if this would have been a thing if we had like 4 other trash cans we could use. The point is, our trash cans are filled to the top every single week. We don't need somebody else coming along adding to it. That was the point. But there, a lot of people obviously couldn't understand that, and I felt I just had to keep explaining it. And then at some point, I'm like, you know what? You can't explain things to stupid people. If you're not going to be
stupid
is as stupid does, and if you're not going to try to understand it, because she came back. Because one person said, oh, call the cops. Somebody put trash in a trash can. And I said, oh, you think that's so funny? How about I come over and dump a bunch of diapers in your trash can? And then she said, oh, then she came back with a whole bunch of emojis, smiley faces, laughing. And I said, you too, Charlotte. How about I come back and dump that in your can? And then she said something like, trash is trash. I don't give a F what's in the trash can. Trash is trash. What the F? And I'm like, oh, okay. I said, so then I came back and said, oh, I see. You are just like her. You must be doing the same thing since you think this is okay. I said, you know what? Have a nice life. So for all the negative things, I had some people that came on and said, you have every right to feel some kind of way about people putting trash in your trash can. After all, it's your trash can. I had somebody say, hey, they could be dumping, you don't know what they dumping in your trash can. She said, I watch too much crime TV. She could be dumping dead body parts in there, and then, this comes back to you. Or she could be dumping something in there that's illegal, and it comes back to you, and then you get a citation, or you have to answer for that. Exactly. We don't know what she's putting in our trash. That's why you put your own trash in your own trash can. Now, if this comes back, and something happens, or we got to pay a citation, or somebody comes back to us and start asking a whole bunch of questions, I'm saying, well, this isn't my trash. How can I prove it? She put it in ours. There's a whole bunch of things that people say, oh, you're just ranting or you're going on about that. But this kind of stuff happens. You know how you avoid that? Use your own trash can. So, yeah, so we had to come on there. Oh, yeah, here we go. It says, quick, call the police, and then, she came back with the laughing thing. It was like, oh, exactly. And then I was like, well, how about you provide your address? I'll come over and dump. And then I said, since you think it's so funny, I'll send some over there to you too. And then other people said, oh, then that's when she said, it's trash. Who cares? What the F? It's in the trash can, and it's in the trash cans outside. What you can't seem to wrap your head around, dummy, is that this is a trash can, not a trash dumpster that's out there in the woods for everybody to use. What part of that can't you understand? I told her, I said, I'm tired of talking to you. Clearly, you don't understand. So I'm done with it. And then other people were saying, then I said, oh, I see you're probably doing the same thing. Great minds think alike. My house is not a public dump. Maybe yours is. I think she just don't like when I'm coming back and saying to her, but you know how you get around that, Charlotte? You shut the F up. That's what you do. You don't make comments when you really don't know what you're talking about. And clearly you're not a sensitive person because you feel it's okay to say, oh, trash is trash. Our trash. We need the cans. You can't understand that? Shut the hell up. I have nothing to say to you. So, like I said, some people saying a little trash is well. And then there were people on here that were saying, oh, really, really making excuses for her. Like, oh, maybe she didn't have the can. Maybe, I'd rather see her put it in your can than on the street. And I had to say to John, what part of Philadelphia do you live in? There's trash all over this street. That's why they call it Philadelphia. I don't like the name. I didn't make it up. But that's what they call this city. Philadelphia, because there's trash all over the street. You think people are not throwing trash on the streets? We don't do it. That's why we have cans. But for them to say, well, I would rather her put it in your trash can instead of throwing it on the street. No, dummy. Why don't she put it in her trash can instead of throwing it all over the street or putting it in somebody else's? How is that so hard? What part of that is so hard to understand? So another person said, I never understood people who complain about people putting trash in another can. I'd better see it go there than on the street. And I said, and then I said to that, because I just, it's not coming up anymore. All right. But there were other people that said, for a while somebody put a bunch of booze bottles and they think that they were hiding the fact that they were alcoholic. Again, That's not my problem. What part aren't you understanding? Your trash is your trash. You dispose of it however you want. Just don't put it in my trash can. That's all I'm saying. So one guy said, "Hi Ronnie, just a comment support. Don't fill up another person's trash can." I'm like, "Thank you." Some people are getting it. And then somebody said, "Trash in everybody's can is better than on the street." Again, do you not live in Philadelphia? I don't understand. Where are you living? It says you live in Central Roxborough. We go to Roxborough all the time. Trash all over the street. So I really don't understand what you're talking about. You better see it in a can than on the street. That's all you see when you ride up and down these neighborhoods. It's trash on the street. There are certain neighborhoods that get together on weekends to clean up the neighborhood because there's so much trash. And this is a weekly thing. So don't tell me about you better see it in somebody else's trash can than on the street, because that's all there is trash on this street. So once again, what are you talking about? So then I'm going to read a couple more of these and then we can just go off, and I'm going off on a tangent. But it really bothered me. I didn't put it on there for people to agree with me. I just thought that people would have decency to know that you don't step certain, it's called boundaries, and you don't cross those boundaries. And it's just, to me, it seems like it's just people that have no home training, wasn't raised correctly, that they think that this type of behavior is okay and you can just do whatever you want. You have people that come on other people's property and they get shot. And then you'd be like, "Oh, gee, why did that neighbor shoot that neighbor?" I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that when it happens, people sit back and say, "Why did that happen?" Because neighbors aren't being neighborly. They would talk about, "I'm not being neighborly." I didn't tell her to put it in my trash. She didn't ask. She's just going down the street putting stuff in everybody's trash can, which to me makes no sense. So one guy said, "I'm actually surprised at the defenders of this behavior. The person could at least ask Ronnie or other neighbors if it's okay with them." I can understand if your trash is like really full and you say, "Hey, I put out a lot of stuff, or I'm moving out, or I cleaned out a room or something." Is it okay when trash day, because I'm talking trash day, comes, if I sit my stuff alongside your stuff? If I ain't got a lot of stuff out there, sure. I'm not a cold-hearted person. I'm just saying, why are you deliberately doing something like this, again, without asking, without thinking, just being rude and inconsiderate about it? And there's so many people are upholding that type of behavior, just makes me once again worry about what the state of this world is coming to. Because there's so many people think that's okay. "Oh, it's just trash." I don't think you're understanding. I explained to it I explained very specifically what was going on, and you still talking about, "Oh, trash is trash. Everybody's trash. You got your trash can out there." It's a trash can, not a trash dumpster. It's not a neighborhood dumpster. All right?
And I think it's different too if it's like I said before, if it's an apple core, if you blew your nose and took a tissue and throw it in the trash can. I think it changes when you take a bag of trash and just drop it in somebody's can. And like I said, I think the video is more about just people, when you get on social media, like I said, there's a lot of good people, a lot of good things happening, people doing good things, but there are a certain amount of dopes. And it just seems like on this particular site here, what is that called? Blasters?
I said it earlier, I wasn't going to put them out there, but it's called Nextdoor. You might have that, and it's called the Nextdoor app. So it is all over because it's in California, it's all over, and all that kind of stuff. But
see, I remember, because remember about 2 years ago when I was on Facebook, and I'd get on these different chat rooms and stuff. Oh, yeah. I was in Facebook jail a couple times. I had people doing the dumbest things,
in Facebook
saying dumb things, all kinds of just stupid shit. And you can get involved where you're like going back and forth and stuff like that, and it just, after a while, it's a no-win situation, because just like this one woman where she kept piling on, and it only takes one dope to start piling on, and then we always say rabbit in the hole.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, rabbit.
Dog pile on the rabbit.
Dog pile on the rabbit. One dope actually knocks the whole tree of dopes down.
Yeah.
So.
But.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, this wasn't I didn't want this video to be on a rant, but I felt I had to get this off my chest. And if anything, the reason why I wanted to make the video is just to point out that, you know, as a person, as a human being, you should have some kind of decency. And you may think, oh, it's just a trash situation, but then what else are you willing to go, and what other rules are you willing to break, to just do what you want to do? The whole thing is, this is a simple thing. You have your trash can, you use it. Don't use somebody else's trash can. And that's, you would think that would be a simple, idea, but clearly people are going crazy about it. Like, I did something wrong. Like, I should be the one that's punished because I said that she shouldn't use our trash can. And I'm wrong for feeling that way because it's just trash. Everybody's got to get rid of trash. You got a can, put it in there. Don't go and use somebody else's. If you don't have enough, go out and buy more. We got 5 of them. But you know what? All 5 of them are filled to the gills on trash day. So it's not like we're saying, oh, well, we got them to spare. Go ahead and use them. No. And if we don't, how are we putting out our trash? That's all I'm saying. If people can understand that, walk a mile in somebody else's shoes, as they say, put yourself in my position, how I'm feeling about it, and not just look at it as trash. Because if you do this, you're willing to kind of break the rules on everything, and you're going through life thinking that whatever you do, it suits your fancy or it suits your priorities, and you don't care what anybody else thinks, so you could just use people's property or do whatever because you're only thinking about yourself and you're not thinking about anybody else. And that's really kind of what it boils down to, is just having human decency. And there's so much a lack of human decency out there that it amazes me. So that's why I wanted to do the video. Ran or not, like it or not, I don't care. I said what I said. And she don't like it. The person who did it don't like it. I don't care. Have some decency. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
It's trash talking.
Okay. You know what I say when John starts doing stuff like that? I'm going to say, what do we say?
Hey, I didn't. Oh, what? I was going to say something now.
You forgot?
No. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Yeah, it comes down to like what Ronnie said. It's actually respecting people's property.
Knowing your boundaries.
We had a woman who lived next door to us because we live in a row home. And the woman that lived next door to us, I came in from work one day and I went through the back door and I didn't lock it. And I went into our rec room. The next thing I know, this woman coming in the door behind me. She didn't knock. She didn't ring the doorbell or anything. She just come strutting right into the room. And I looked at her, I'm like, what are you doing? And she says to me, oh, I wanted to ask you a question. But again, it's like people don't respect. I would never, if somebody wasn't there at the door, I'm not opening up your door if you're a neighbor or a friend, even if you're a friend, and walking in the house until somebody says, hey, John, come on in the house.
Boundaries.
Right.
Know them and respect them. Enough said.
Enough trash talking.
All right.
Yeah. God bless you all.
Peace and love. And I mean that.
Ronnie needs a lot of peace.
Heart. Peace and love, folks. Bye.